What is up, guys? Tony here, and today we're doing a kind of interesting video. I'm going to be talking about my first impressions of this new game. Well, it's not exactly new, but it's kind of a new release to Steam. And it's been in alpha for the last few months, and I think it's actually out of alpha now. It's actually in full release mode. I might be slightly wrong on that, but it's getting there. It's almost done. They're still adding things to it, and I'm going to be talking about my first impressions on the overall game itself. I'm not going to be getting too much into the bugs. A lot of people talk about how this game has a lot of bugs in it, and you know what? With all these forests, I can't blame them. I mean, there's a lot of bugs in the forests, so that's just bound to happen. But anyway, all jokes aside, this game, you know what? Compared to DayZ, which is of course what everyone's going to compare it to, it's pretty much DayZ except much more polished and a little bit more easy mode in certain areas. But it's basically a DayZ separate game type of title. And compared to DayZ, I think the amount of bugs is so minimal. I mean, if you guys have played DayZ, you know that that game isn't exactly the most solid game in the world. There are a lot of things in that game that just don't make any sense. Why can't you jump? Why can't you maneuver certain ways? Why does your character randomly vault over a fence that you're 10 feet away from? I mean, if you guys have seen my DayZ videos, there were a lot of little glitches here and there that pissed me off. In reality, though, I mean, this game is kind of buggy at times. I mean, there are a few bugs here and there, but it feels like a pretty solid game to me. It actually feels like a real game. In terms of the aesthetics, let's talk about aesthetics first. We're going to kind of take this down category by category. I like the map design. I like the design based after Colorado with all the trees and stuff like that. I like the the theme of it, and I like the coloration. I like the greenery. The one thing I don't really like about it is the textures qualities. I have this thing maxed out right now as you're watching it. I'm getting about 60 frames per second on this game maxed out. This is before I overclock my GPU, by the way. And to be honest, I think it's a little low for such a low-res game, because when you look around and you look at the floor, there are a lot of muddy textures. But I think the main reason why it is very GPU demanding is if you look out in the distance, it does load a lot of really high-quality textures in the distance. But overall, I think it looks really nice for your average modern game. I think the lens flares look good from the sun. I think the landscapes look beautiful from a distance. But as you can see on the floor right now, for example, there are a lot of very muddy textures in the dirt. Maybe it's because it's mud. Who knows? I really don't know. But one of the now let's talk about features. The features that I like about this game is they definitely made it a lot more accessible to the noobs. First off, you spawn with a weapon. It's a flashlight, and you only get to spawn with it 5 times. But it's good for the people who first start off just to get their bearings. And once you get your bearings after 5 characters dying, usually you're good enough to where you know where to look for the flashlights. If not, you probably want to watch a few tutorials. Don't look to me if you want tutorials. I'll just upload me failing a lot, like this video right here. But I have been playing it a lot. I have logged a few hours into it, definitely. I haven't played with anyone else yet, but I'm planning on playing with my buddy Nick. And, it's pretty fun solo. I think it's a little difficult solo. I do recommend you get a buddy. It's only $13.45 on Steam right now. It's pretty cheap. It's on sale compared to $15, and even $15 is pretty cheap. So if you pick up 2 copies, gift one to your friend, and tell him to get on. He'll have no excuse not to get on. And it's a really fun game to play with other people. I mean, it must be just like DayZ, which I have played with other people, which is a lot of fun. And, it's just your typical game. Now, features-wise, the other thing you get is a map, and I think the map is awesome. That's one thing that you always had problems with on DayZ. You'd have to tab out, open up your map, figure out where the hell you are, and then go from there. But this game always tells you where you are. It always tells you all the spots that you can go to, and it's really good for mapping out where you want to, run for your loot runs and things like that. And it's also good for when you just get on and you're just like, where the fuck am I? How do I get to Boulder? Or whatever you're trying to get to. So it's always good. In terms of the people on the game, on DayZ, it's notorious for people just trying to kill you. These bandits, quote unquote, that would try to kill you constantly. Is this game any different? Not really. I mean, there's a lot of bandits. There's a few good people, not a lot, a few. And to be honest, a lot of people who are just assholes in this game. In fact, right here, I come up on, this is Camp Splinter, and I walk up to Camp Splinter, and I see a guy in the town. There's also another guy on the hill trying to shoot me with an AK. But I kind of avoided him. And there's a guy in the town. I can actually see him here in my peripheral vision. And I was typing into him, you know, friendly coming into town. And he didn't kill me. He just left the town courteously. Courteously? However you say that. You know, it was a pretty good experience. I didn't get killed by the guy, even though, obviously, I don't have much loot on me at all. But nonetheless, I think that the players are relatively the same as DayZ. I think there's more courteous people on the game right now, mainly because there's a lot of people on this game who are new to the game, just like you're new to the game. So that's always a good thing. That, you know, a lot of these people are noobs, so they're willing to work with you. Maybe you can meet some friends on here. There is voice chat, I believe, but there definitely is this chatting feature where you just hit enter and you can talk in the proximity, or you can talk in global chat, which is pretty cool. So yeah, overall, the player's pretty decent. Now let's talk about the zombies and the game's map and the layout and the actual gameplay. First off, the zombies. Okay, like DayZ, 9 times out of 10, when you ran into zombies, it wasn't that bad. You can just, you know, lose them really easy. On this game, the zombies are a little bit more tough to kill. In fact, I think this game is more centered around avoiding the zombies than it is finding loot and killing other players. And you know what? Even though that's fine and all with me, you know, it's their own game. They can do whatever they want with it. It kind of takes away from the fun from DayZ, because I think the fun about DayZ was getting weapons, getting a crew, and taking out people in the towns that are new to the game. That's just how I found the game fun. A lot of people say that's cruel to do, but, you know, it's a fucking game, guys. Come on. But to be honest, I don't like how the zombies are actually pretty difficult to avoid at times, and they're really easy to alert. It's not as easy to sneak around and avoid them. And when you do catch onto a bunch of zombies, it's very difficult to know where to go to lose them. You can try to outsprint them, but you run out of stamina pretty quick, because apparently the characters in this game are pretty much chronic smokers. It's crazy how quick you run out of stamina in this game. And it's really hard to find a building that has two doors that you can run into and lose them through the building. I actually kept running into dead ends a lot. It's pretty difficult, man. If anything, I guess it is a little bit easier to survive, like falls. Like if I jumped off the side of this staircase right now, I probably wouldn't die. Whereas on DayZ, yeah, I probably would break my leg, fall into the ground, the zombies would eat me, and it would be awful. So this game is definitely a lot better in terms of your limbs surviving more and things like that. What else can I talk about here? The server, the actual game's menus like that, I think the character creation is very nice. I'm sure they'll expand on it more. The weapon variety is very nice. I saw a lot of the weapons you can use in this game. The way you can have cross-character trades between your characters. Very cool, very cool. A lot of great features. The menus look really polished. The gameplay is really polished. The controls are nice. The fact that you have a hotbar 1 through 6 is really nice. Where you can hold items and stuff like that. And it's cool that you have hats. I think the hats are awesome. That makes the game. They should add in DLC for like pimp hats and shit like that. That'd be pretty awesome. But anyway, as far as negatives, the only negatives I find is that a few of the textures are a little corny. It's almost like a cartoony type of feel to the game at times. But I'm sure that that's what they're going for, and if you're into that, that's cool. I just thought DayZ looked a little bit more realistic, I guess because it was built off of a military simulator. In terms of things I like how it handles. The game is very solid. It's not nearly as buggy as DayZ in my opinion, and I also like the controls and the way the game runs overall. I think it's pretty good, and you know, I enjoy the game. I've had a good time on it so far. If you guys want to see more videos of WarZ, I'm totally up for that. I'll probably do some videos with Nick when I get him the game. I'm actually going to gift it to him because he doesn't spend his money unless he really wants the game. And I don't know if he really wants this, but I guarantee we'll have a good time with it. So we'll see what I can do there. Now you're going to see me sneak past zombies, and they're going to chase after me in a second here. And this is exactly what I'm talking about with the fact that zombies lock onto you like they have heat-seeking missiles or something like that. But in all honesty, I guess the way I look right now, I'm pretty surprised the zombies can't see me. But on DayZ, this would be 100% acceptable. They wouldn't be able to get you, but this guy right here catches on to me. I run for it, I book it, I'm out of there. I run up the deer stand, and now watch this epic escape. Ready for this? jump up on deer stand. I'm freaking out. And there's jumping at its best right there. I went into first person mode, and I'm just like, holy shit, what am I gonna do? Look down on the staircase. I'm gonna do it. There's like a bunch of zombies warped into each other, so I jump. I jump. And as you can see, I did survive the falls. So like I was talking about earlier, you can survive falls much easier, which is awesome. Anyway, that's my first impressions of WarZ. I think it's an awesome game. I think you guys could all check it out. It's very cheap and affordable, and it's fun to play. So if you like this video, like it and comment below and tell me if you like the video and you want to see more of these videos. That's pretty much it. I am Tony. Go ahead and subscribe if you like this video and you want to see more like it, and I'll see you guys next time.